If you have a house full of stuff you've inherited, stuff you thought you needed, or stuff that seemed like a good idea at the time and you would like to get rid of it, help is here to help you clean up your crud. Susan Borax and Heather Niddle are professional organizers who run a business called Good Riddance. It is my pleasure to welcome Heather and Susan to Studio 4 to tell us more.
Good morning.
Well, I knew we had to do this because it's the new year. You just do, because it's one of your resolutions, usually, isn't it?
It's right up there. It's one of the top 5.
Clean out the ugly room. Get the drawers. Oh, yeah, sometimes we have
Could be more than just one.
So you call it the Crud Challenge in your Good Riddance book. And how do you define crud?
Crud is completely ridiculous, useless debris.
Lovely little acronym, you know?
Isn't it?
Isn't it?
Yes. Completely ridiculous, useless debris.
So it's the kinds of things that you've received as gifts but have never worn or never displayed in your home. It's the things that are unfinished, you've never completed, things that are unrepaired, things that take too much trouble to take care of.
Things you're just storing for other people. And you know, your crud can be different than my crud, right? It just depends on everyone's lifestyle, you know? Like if you're hanging on to those skis because you used to ski 25 years ago, chances are you're not going to use them anymore.
Well, or nobody wants to buy them.
Right, exactly.
Because they're too long and too narrow, and you don't know where to recycle them, so you just keep them in the garage.
That's right. If
Well,
you have
that's
the
a big problem because many people would like to be able to find places to take these things, but they really don't know a simple and easy way to do it.
See, I want somebody to do it for me. I want someone to call and say, if I come by tomorrow and you put your old computer on the front porch, I'll take it, I'll recycle it, I'll be green, I'll be eco, I'd say yes.
But that's a lot of the reasons why people work with us, because we do all that. We get all the resources in place so that we make it easy for you to dispose of the things in the proper fashion.
One of your questions in Good Riddance is, if you had a big house fire, what would you leave in the fire?
Yes.
On purpose.
On purpose. So these are the things that people feel particularly guilty about.
Now, the Cluttermania reasons, the top 10 reasons to see Cluttermania, because you two are entertainers and musicians, right?
That's kind of a sidebar thing that we do, and it was created, we have a musical review called Cluttermania, and we put it together about 4 years ago. And we've been performing it since then, but now this year we're going to really focus on expanding it, hopefully.
How great.
It's just been a musical review, so now we're creating characters and a storyline to go
Oh, I
along
see,
with
but
it.
do you both sing and dance?
I play,
I sing.
and we have 2 other cast members.
So you sing like what? I hate to make you do this
Well,
here, but...
I'm not going to sing because, you know, my morning voice. But no, Susan has written, reworked some lyrics for some Broadway standard show tunes. And it's things like a song called My Least Favorite Things, sung to the very ever popular My Favorite Things that Julie Andrews sings, right? So
I won't chuck to I won't dance.
Right.
Oh, so these are a few of my least favorite things.
Correct.
Yes.
I see. And when you work with hoarders, and by that I mean people who have one thing that they can't, one type of thing they can't let go of, spark plugs, magazines, books, CDs.
Sometimes it can be a house full. I mean, and sometimes it's not just one category of things. It's just that they cannot let go because everything to them often has a very specific purpose, right? And they can see a lot of value in everything. Yeah.
Excuses be gone.
You got it.
We've heard them all.
I bet you have. Now, but the hardest part of getting rid of crud is obviously starting.
Yes, and that's
that
why
true?
people call us, because they can't figure out, they look around and they see clutter everywhere, and they make the mistake of going around and running from room to room. We call it zigzagging, so that by its very nature, decluttering is a disruptive process.
Sure.
So what we try to tell people is to contain things. Just work in one small area at a time. Otherwise, they're really going to wind up in trouble very quickly.
Well, see, you know you have a deep dose if, for instance, it says here, you missed your flight to Fiji because you could not locate your passport.
Yes.
Right? Your library fines are greater than the total value of your RRSP. That's not a good sign, is it? I like this one. Every time you think about going down to your basement, you hear music from Jaws.
Yes.
Boom, boom, boom,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So you close the door.
and you just leave, and you.
That's why, you know, we wrote the book in such a way that it takes you on a tour of your home, right? You can start in one area. And we're big, you know, supporters of don't open up multiple fronts. Start in one area, might even just be one drawer. And then once you get that feeling of satisfaction,
Right.
it's contagious.
So, the junk drawer.
Yeah.
Everybody has one. Tell me they do.
Of course they do, and
Yeah.
some people
Several.
have many.
Many. So what do you do with it? Do you just dump it out, or
Yes,
do you go
we do.
piece by piece? Because
No.
I start piece by piece. Then I get tired. I get bored. So I close the drawer, throw
Yeah.
away 2 little pieces of something.
With a junk drawer, it's best to completely start over. And the things that populate the junk drawers are pretty typical. It's the twist ties and the corks from the wine and the rubber bands.
Batteries.
And change.
Yes.
You know,
What about the underwear drawer?
the underwear drawer is
Dump
a junk.
it too?
Yes. And then what we try to tell people is the way to really be able to maintain it in the future is to divide and conquer. So in other words, just don't have everything jumbled in together. Get dividers.
Okay. Now I am a bag lady in the essence, for the reason that I get a bag from Hermes. I only buy perfume there. It's all I can afford. I can't throw it out.
But the
I
bag's
always
too
think I'll
good.
give somebody. Yes.
Yes.
When you have the Aritzia bag and the Leone's bag and you know the snazzy bags, the whole bag, you think, well, I could give somebody something in that. A Barney's bag from New York.
I know.
I have 3.
See the tricks we play with ourselves? And you know what? Everybody falls into that. I have bags too, but you know,
Okay.
I probably have a lot less than you do. Perhaps. Maybe not.
No, guaranteed.
Right?
So when you come home with your Barney's bag from New York and your great trip and you save it for whatever reason, what do you tell yourself?
Well, it could come in handy one day. I mean, these are all the
I
typical
know.
excuses that we go through in our minds, you know, and this is what we lead our clients through when we sit there, and because we work side by side, advising
so
them.
do you say toss immediately?
Well, it really depends on what it is. I mean, if you know, in the case of the 3 Barney's bags, maybe just keep 1 Barney's bag and let the other 2 go.
Well, might have to give away 3 gifts. You
just
know.
keep the
You've
best
heard
of
it
the
all,
best.
right?
We've heard it all.
So, remotes, chargers, in this
Yes.
tech age,
Yes.
golly.
Yes.
One of the problems is you're not sure what the charger is for, and you don't want to throw away the
That's
plug
right.
to this particular device, and you know.
Yeah, we're riddled with fear. It's like, oh, if I throw
Right.
this away, I'm never ever going to be able to replace it again.
Sure.
Not really true, obviously, but yes. And what happens is you get rid of the phone, but the charger seems to linger in that junk drawer.
Yes.
right?
So do you tag things?
We try to. You know,
Do you have clear boxes so you can see what's inside?
we definitely recommend using clear boxes and labeling boxes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as far as fashion, do you have a rule?
Anything with shoulder pads should really go. Mind you, I heard shoulder pads are coming back
They're
again.
coming back.
But you know, styles always change ever so slightly. People, and that's another excuse, you know, it's going to come back in fashion perhaps one day.
What about nail polish?
Oh.
When you got the nail polish stash.
Yeah, well, I guess it depends on what colors you use. But you know, my manicurist told me that nail polishes, providing you keep the top clean, are good forever.
Well, that's a problem.
Yes.
But, you know, I took one to my nail polish person. We couldn't get the lid off. That's not a good sign.
Not a good sign.
No, that's not good.
In our book, we talk about some of the things that people keep in the bathrooms, like the amenities and the nail polish. And if there's this much left in
Yes.
the bottom of the bottle,
Sure.
let it go.
Get rid of it. Now, what about downsizing? You have a gang called Practically Daughters, which is assistance for people who are aging and have to move out of the big home into the smaller place.
Right, it's all the decisions that have to be made because obviously when you downsize, at that point you're probably going to be moving into 500 to 750 square feet.
Right.
If you've come from a 3,000 square foot home, you can't take it all, you know. So we put everything in place. We find all the resources for people to dispose of their items through donation or sale and
Sure.
slowly downsize everything.
Okay, so
we
is
can
the
arrange for the
question,
move, yeah.
do I need it? Do I want it?
Well, a lot
I
of
have
it,
to have it?
A lot of it is, I won't need this anymore, so why am I keeping it, you know?
If
And
you're moving into independent living, for example, and
Right.
you're going to be getting 3 meals a day, is it necessary to keep
Sure.
dishes and pots and tableware?
I know, it's because your 50-year-old made that little pinch pot in
That's
grade
right.
1. And you have to keep it.
Oh, kids' artwork, that's a whole other...
Kids' artwork.
That's a whole other discussion.
And then there's grandchildren's artwork. Oh, my.
Yes, and you can be overwhelmed very quickly.
Showing clutter the door. It's time. Good riddance. I thank both of you.
Thank you very much. A
Nice
pleasure.
to see you. Tomorrow, Born to Bark psychology professor Dr. Stanley Coren tells us some fabulous stories about his dogs and human escapades, personal and otherwise. And Dr. Max Sinatter, Director of Brain Research Center at UBC, explains some more brain science to us. And we meet an olive oil merchant who will give us a few lessons on pure, extra light, 2 green, virgin, or extra virgin olive oils. You see, that could be cluttering if you have too many olive oils. Thanks for watching Studio 4. There will be lots more on Shaw TV, only on Shaw TV.